So here's the 3 steps to write content like a complete badass. You wake up and you've got 0 ideas. You look at your content and you tell yourself, this is shit. You copy others to try to fit in, and when you finish this video, you will learn exactly how to stand out. And my name is Jay. I've been selling online coaching myself and for clients for the past 3 years, making anywhere from 7 to 20K every single month. And it all started when I quit Fashion University and went all in on my personal brand and spent 30K, maybe even more by now, on coaching and mentorships to build my skills to teach you the things that I'm teaching you today. I've tried every strategy in the books to acquire clients, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to write belief-shifting content and use it as fuel to build a $10 a day ad to build your online coaching business predictably. So essentially, in this video, I'm not going to teach you to do the $10 a day ads. I'm going to teach you how to nurture the people that come through your profile, either through ads or through organically, and get them to buy by sharing your own authentic message. Because the biggest thing that I see is people try to be proud of themselves when it comes to content. They want to be proud of the stuff that they put out there. And there's 2 ways to do that. You can either be a slave to the algorithm and be proud of yourself based on the views and the vanity metrics that you're getting, right? If you get a lot of views, if you get a lot of followers that maybe don't care about you, but that makes you feel really good inside. That makes you proud of yourself. Or you can do it the new way, the belief shifting way, where you don't focus on the vanity metrics. You're proud of the content you put out there because it speaks to the exact person you want to help. It speaks from the heart, it tells your story, and it also makes you more money and more freedom in the long term because you're attracting the core cult-like audience that you actually want to serve. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So there's 3 different ways we can leverage the stuff that we write. We can post it as short form content, we can post it on our emails, or we can even leverage the ideas for long form content, like a video like this. And it all comes down to one key concept that we need to nail: idea generation. Ideas come from 3 core sources, from my opinion, right? There's life snapshots that I call it. So this is random moments where you're waiting for the train. You know, this is a train station in Berlin where I live, or you're having a conversation and maybe you're not even speaking to them, but an idea just comes to mind. Or maybe you're scrolling on your phone, or maybe it's just random kind of in-between moments in life. You're not actually doing things, it's just in the in-between. Then it's actually your calendar where you actually are doing things. When you're engaging in activities, when you're doing, events, whatever it might be in your life, those are the things that can give you ideas. And then obviously conversations and media. This is things where you're actually talking to people, right? You're getting advice from mentors, you're getting advice from friends. This is looking at media, like podcasts. This is talking to your clients. This is my client Alperin. Or maybe it's reading a book. It's whatever kind of conversations, media, that is what generates unique ideas. So you need to wait. I'm going to get into this later in this video, but you need to wait to capture this to refer back to. The main thing is you have a niche surrounding your personal brand, surrounding who you are as a person, what you can help people with, what value you can provide in the world. And there's 3 core kind of problems, or the biggest problems that you solve for your clients, right? And you want to write those down. For you, if let's say you're doing fitness coaching, it might be diet, workout, and mindset around specifically getting in shape and building muscle. For me, it's your story, your niche, and your funnel or your strategy. In this case, I build a ecosystem, a flywheel, to get my clients the best results possible through their personal brand. And you're gonna make content very simply where you're just talking to the camera, okay? This is the simplest way to portray information, but obviously there's different formats you can do that. And the easiest way you are gonna come up with ideas, coming back to this, right? From these different methods in life that you can gather ideas from, is you're gonna do 5 minutes of splurging. I got this from my mentor. And splurging essentially means you are writing for 5 minutes without interruption, without backspaces, and basically brain dumping or downloading every single thought onto the page or onto your computer. And the purpose of this is we don't want to kind of shut down our creative brain, right? We've got like two brain halves. I'm not sure exactly which one does what, but we've got one kind of logic side of our brain and then one creative side. If we put too many boundaries on our creative side by just blocking it off, we're never going to get to the good ideas, because most of the time, the first 2, maybe even 3 minutes of writing, you're kind of, just getting into the groove. And then after that, that's when the ideas come, because you're breaking out of this logic mindset. And what this is going to generate from this 5 minutes of splurging, and I will show you an example in this video, is you're going to have a few core ideas. You might have one core idea, you might have a few core ideas, and you're going to pick the best one and speak about it for 30 to 60 seconds, okay? And I'm going to get into the format of how to structure this, but based off this 5 minutes of splurging, you're going to create a hook, you're going to create a core story, and a valuable lesson that people can get from that core piece of content, okay? And we're going to get into how this can be leveraged in a YouTube video, right? Because obviously, like I mentioned at the top here, guys, you can mention this for short form content, for email, and for long form. If something needs to be a bit longer, you can still take this 5 minutes of splurge and depthen it even more, so you can create a 5 to 15 minute video that could be a YouTube video. And this is extremely important when building your personal brand, to build that depth with your audience, okay? And this is how you're going to leverage it in Notion. It's stupid simple, right? You're going to create some sort of logo for your page. I'm not sure why it always does that. You're going to create some sort of logo for your page, and then you're going to just call it writing content, or you can call it splurges, whatever you want to call it. And you are going to put the date of every single day for 5 minutes, and you're going to just write. And you can give it even a little bit of a title, right? For example, on February 19th, it's the 21st today, you write something, for example, school with your daughter. This was an example with a client. I don't have a daughter myself. You're just going to write, and then you're going to give it a title. In a few weeks' time, you're going to have tons of stories, tons of different ideas that you can reference back from and easily create awesome content from, okay? That's the thing. This isn't just a one-time 5 minute splurge. You want to do this every single day, okay? And this is an example splurge that I did the other day. It might be a bit more messy than this because I refined it a bit more, because I posted this as an email, and I will just read it through so you can get an example of what a splurge could look like. I didn't see the end of the tunnel for a long time. Long hours, Corona test center, working day, all day to do the same again. I was scrolling Twitter in my breaks, learning about online money. It was all flooding my head, and I was trying my best to understand it all. For the most part, I was overwhelmed. I wanted to quit university. It was itching at my skin for a while. I told my parents, and they said I should continue my studies despite me hating every second of it. I'm at work one day during lunch break. I don't smoke cigarettes, but I asked my coworker for one and stepped outside. I was covered in my plastic suit, who had to wear it all day for work, and took off my goggles and called my dad. I want to quit university and start my own business. Luckily, I have a father who never doubted me and always supported me, but even I was unsure and challenged him on the idea. What if it doesn't work out? What if I will be disappointed, won't I? I don't want to be seen as a loser. So that could be an example of a splurge. Now, this is actually not too long. You might have it longer than this, but this is a splurge of ideas. It's a story, right? It's something that happened to me based on my past. And this is going to be written on this specific day on your Notion. And this is going to be turned into a hook, a story, and a value/lesson. Right now, we mainly have the story off this splurge, but we're going to get a cool hook, and we're going to get a good piece of value and lesson off this that we can intertwine into our content. So I'm going to show you a live breakdown of how I leverage my reality shifter bot, which is a bot that I created on ChatGPT that helps you write more persuasively, and it's very good for hook creation, okay? If you DM me the word bot on my Instagram, I can send you over this exact one that I'm going to be using today. So I'm going to go in the reality shifter bot, and I'm just going to paste in my splurge and see what comes out of it, okay? I just pasted it in the bot, and now it's going to rewrite it more persuasively, okay? I didn't see my way out for months, just in the same loop. Long hours, Corona test center, plastic suit, goggles fogging up, working all day, wake up, do it again. On my breaks, I'll doom scroll Twitter like it was oxygen. Online money, business, freedom, and my brain was flooded. Everything sounded like they had the secret, and I couldn't even figure out where to start. Most days I wasn't even motivated, right? So it's giving it a more quick, snappy way of explaining the story. It's a bit long, to be fair. I might want to cut this down in terms of the story. At the end of this, it's giving me what has changed and why it hits harder. So why it's more persuasive. It tells you why a pattern interrupt. I asked my coworker a cigarette. I don't even smoke. Instant curiosity. Symptoms over problems. Goggles flooding. Blah, blah, blah. Makes it cinematic, relatable. Negativity bias. Failing in public. Disappointment. Loser. Strong emotional hook. Failing in public is quite a good hook. So I'm going to use that. So I'm going to go back here and I'm going to go back to it. And what I'm going to do, I'm not going to do this completely for you guys here because it will take a while, but failing in public is quite a good hook. So I'm going to say why it's important to fail in public as an entrepreneur, or why it's important to fail in public as an ambitious man in your 20s. And then I'm going to explain the story of how I failed and how I was stuck in this shitty job and how it's brought me to the conclusions and to the goals that I have today. And sharing this with people is going to build a stronger personal brand for me because I'm more relatable. I can use these quotes at the end as also technically this could be even a hook. What if it doesn't work out? That's what I told myself. But the reason I'm taking failing in public is because it's a bit of an oxymoron. Normally people don't want to fail in public, so it builds a lot of curiosity, and I'm turning it into a positive here by explaining a cool thing, okay? That is how you are going to leverage simple 5 minutes a day of writing to create amazing short form content. Now, obviously, you can just speak this to the camera, or you can turn this into multiple formats, right? Maybe you want to do a piece of short form content where you're doing a split share, a screen share, and maybe you want to do it where you're on a whiteboard. Whatever the method is of explaining the value, it all starts with just a simple splurge, a simple writing, okay? And from this, you're going to learn how to nurture your audience properly. If you click the first link in the description, there's a video that explains a little bit about the $10 a day ad method and how you can leverage that to get qualified leads predictably to your personal brand. And yeah, that's how you do it. So this is how you go from idea generation, writing down the core ideas, doing some splurges, and getting great organic content out there. Obviously, if you want to book in a call with me and work one-to-one for me to implement all of this stuff for you, then in the link in the description, you can either book a call or you can DM me on Instagram. Join with the details. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.